There is a hack that was demonstrated by a firm called, I think I'm going to probably mutilate the name, Veritasium, I believe, out of the UK, a couple of some researchers and stuff like that. And it is a iPhone hack that they did with MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee, who people probably know from YouTube. And they were able to, without having him unlock his phone or do anything with his phone and Apple Pay, steal $10,000 from his Apple Pay account.
Hey, that's bad.
And so I wanted to highlight this for a few reasons. Yes, one, that's bad. And what they were leveraging, how this works, I'll just explain how it works, is so basically what they discovered is there's a feature that Apple added that probably a lot of people use called express transit cards. So if you live in a city where you have a subway or a bus system or something like that, right, you can pay with your Apple Pay. You can enable the feature and assign it to a credit card, and it allows you to go through the turnstiles very, very quickly. So to make that system work, basically Apple created a system because they don't want you to have to like do your Face ID, take out your phone, like you're trying to get through, you don't want to block the line. So they developed a system where you could go through quickly without having to unlock your phone in that specific scenario. So what they discovered is they figured out a way to reproduce that signal basically that says, okay, you don't need to unlock your phone. That's fine. That's one level of protection. There are two other pieces of protection that are supposed to protect you from this. These two pieces are, it's not supposed to allow high value transactions. So
Sure.
it'll detect, okay, this is, a couple bucks, no big deal. If there's fraud, right, you can probably undo that. It's not going to be a huge thing. So it's a small amount. And then, so if it is a higher amount, it's supposed to prompt and say, hey, wait a minute, this transaction's really high. You need to verify. So you need to like Face ID and do all that stuff. The researchers were able to bypass that. And that's where this flaw exists. Now, it gets even more nuanced because the only cards that this works with is Visa cards. And the reason is that MasterCards and other cards use a digital signature that is required to go both ways. So that, because it's a man in the middle attack, so they're messing with the messaging going between the phone and the devices. And they actually had to put his phone on a device, on a scanner basically that they had produced, and then they are able to intercept the signal when it's being tapped on the terminal machine, basically to create the transaction. But so there's normally a digital signature that says, okay, let's make sure that in transit the messages weren't tampered with.
Right.
And so MasterCard requires that, so it's not susceptible. Visa does not have that. And I think the rationale was that, like, if you're down in a subway and you don't have signals, they can't check things. I don't know. That wasn't really clear. I have a link to a great blog article in the show notes. I also have a link to the video that goes through the whole hack and how it works and stuff like that. So the video from Veritasium and MKBHD is linked. I also am linking to an article that kind of explains how all this stuff works. And so the issue lies with Visa. It's not necessarily an Apple thing. Apple is aware of it. Visa's aware of it. And unfortunately, they've been aware of it for 4 years. So I don't think it's going to get fixed.
Of course
Visa just claims they have protections. So if your money were to get stolen, they would reverse the charges and, they're on your side and blah, blah, blah. But what a pain in the butt if it does happen. Yeah. So what can you do to not get caught? One of two things. If you are using a transit card, this express transit card feature, don't use it with a Visa card. Just change it to a MasterCard, not a Visa card.
Or Amex or Discover. I've confirmed while you've been talking here that it really is only Visa. MasterCard, Amex, and Discover have been tested and proven not to have this issue.
Yeah, and then if you don't use transit cards, go into your Apple Pay and just turn this feature off.
Right.
Completely. Just disable it.
It is handy. I mean, like I leave my transit card on all the time so that when I find myself in a city, I can just do the thing, And I would presume that your Apple Watch would be as susceptible to this as your phone would be, because you can turn on transit cards for your watch too. So
yeah. And all this said, as far as I know, I don't know that there's ever been a case or a reporting of this actually happening in the wild, because it would require someone to be near you with a basically scanner near your phone and then doing a tap thing. It requires two devices. So
yeah, but you could, I mean, think about all the times you're packed in on a subway, right?
Sure,
If somebody had one of these things and just like started putting it next to everybody's pockets where you can see the outline of their phone,
Sure.
like this, you could probably make this happen. But the issue is, and this is where, headlines matter. No one's stealing this money from you. In the end, no one is stealing this money because Visa's going to catch it, and Visa, like you articulated, Adam, is going to credit you for fraud, like they would credit you for any fraud,
right,
right, and then also they're not going to pay on the merchant side either when they realize that fraud has happened. So, like this is why Visa hasn't solved this problem, because it's easy for them to just like go and negate the transactions, and in the moment that's easier than having a team of programmers go and fix this flaw, right?